episode 39 of the Reverberation podcast with Donald Nelson on the Konfidence and Klutch network. Click that bell for notifications with new content when I drop. New media, energy up, health is wealth, baby. Man, going into this Memorial Day weekend, it's always good to start off with this shy like we're doing, man, today. Let's jump into it real quick. What we know so far. All right, update on what's going on with the shy. Jimmy let Tiara know she kissed a girl and she liked it. Maisha asked Papa what success looks like to him, and she's intrigued. He talking about he want to have a family and all that stuff. Bakari wants out the game and wants to tell his own story. Lene's professor gives Bakari a journal to write his thoughts down in and nobody else knows, and they for him. Shad and Alicia exchange info when he was over there fixing some things. M tells Keisha he's tired of living in fear and wants them to live their lives. And they have sex with no condom, so we know they finna have a baby. Shad goes to Alicia's lake to put in locks, and she says, oh, you ain't got to worry about putting them locks in until the morning, baby. So she was choosing. And Quincy gets Trig a lawyer because it was DNA that was found in a burnt car, man. You know what I mean? So that's where we at. Current episode, season 6, episode 11, 611, Saints and Sinners. Synopsis. Emmett and Darnell's father-son time is interrupted by a revelation. Papa is wooed by Pastor Ezekiel, causing tension with his mother. Alicia offers Shad an opportunity. Opportunity. Okay. Pastor Ezekiel, because our show is running, you know what I'm saying? Pastor Ezekiel. Man, we finna talk about it. Let me look at something. It's just something I need to, and make sure. I forgot one thing, so I just got to go back in and get it right for the one time. The lawyer is Toussaint. Alonzo, right? His name is like Alonzo Toussaint, something, right? Yeah. Alonzo Daniels Lafayette. Where the hell I get Toussaint from? Alonzo Daniels Lafayette. Alonzo. All right. Well, we got to change all that Toussaint shit to Alonzo then. All right, y'all. We rolling. I'm going straight from the top. What we do, man. Let's get into it. Takeaways. Recap from episode 611, huh? How you living, baby? New style church with this younger pastor, Ezekiel, right? Ezekiel, that's a biblical name. They had Jesus in a white tee with a red jacket on with a chain with dreads in the stained glass. Hey man, however you gotta make it look that way. That was all right. That was kind of fly. Preach prosperity. You know what I mean? Just so you got Jake, Papa and Bakari are there. Jake wants to know who the first lady is and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, crazy. They passed the offering around like 3 times and shit. Bogus as hell. I don't like them type of churches. So at the end, they got to meet Pastor Ezekiel, the boys, because they came with Papa, you know. Papa had a, you know what I'm saying, relationship with the pastor's daughter, Kenya. This is her father's church, right? So, Jake. I sexed. I effed. Right? Fuck it. Jake, I fucked the shit out of Kenya's mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. And she bit. It's crazy as fuck, though, right? So, you know what I mean? Zay pushed up on Kenya at church. Zay was always a little player cat. And he's like, man, you know, I want to see if I can take you out. She said she'll think about it. Papa saw it and didn't like it, of course. But, hey, you didn't want it, Papa, so whatever she do, hey, she can do what she want to do. Pimp, all right? So we see Keisha at home, bouncing in the kitchen, cooking the eggs and shit, feeling it in the morning and shit. M broke her ass off, bringing them breakfast in bed and shit. And while he eating the breakfast in bed, he like, oh, yeah, you did all this because I broke you off. And Keisha asks him if he talked to Alicia yet. And he like, nah. And the phone rings and them niggas shook like, oh, my God, what's going on? They shook as fuck. No. Like, yo, it's Darnell. They was thinking it was Duda and shit. Like, no, that ain't Duda. And M telling Keisha, like, yeah, man, I'm going laser tag with my dad to spend some time with him, right? And she's like, well, you better eat those eggs, you know what I'm saying, before they get cold. And he's like, I'd rather eat you first, baby. Oh, no doubt, nasty ass nigga in the morning for sure. Tiff is helping Rob doing rehab exercises, and Alicia walk in like, what are you doing with my son? Type shit, like, damn, man. And Tiff is like, you know what, man, I'm trying to help this motherfucker get better, man. And then somebody knock at the door, and she was like, I'll get it. She's like, no, I get it. It's my house too. She's like, this is my house type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Rob was like, man, just let her get the door, Tiff, babe. Don't even trip. Get the door, man. And it's Alonzo, not Tucson. Tucson is from another show. It's Alonzo, Rob's father. That's what come up. Oh, here go a twist. All right, then, Rob's dad. So we see Papa and Bakari and Jake smoke after church in the car, right? And Papa like, man, I really like the church we just left and shit. It's a little different than how my pops and them you did it and shit like that. And Jake like, oh shit, the first lady followed me on IG. Like, what? Like, what? Come on now. We already know what's finna happen. We know what's finna happen. The way Jake looked at her, shit. Yeah, if she didn't want to give it up, she giving it up, right? She choosing to. But that's a force. The first lady right after church. But I mean, I see the picture they trying to paint. We see what they trying to do, right? The nigga after the cash, she after, you know what I'm saying, busting nuts. Like, man. But here come the bullshit, y'all. We know it's coming. Tiff asks Rob, like, yo, why, what's up? How Pops come back around? And Rob says, shit, he doesn't come around. Like, so this is just odd that he here right now. But like, he's a lawyer, a criminal defense lawyer that helps people get away with murder. Says he's a magnet for criminals. That's why, I mean, my mama married him and shit like that. So we see Alonzo and Alicia talking and shit. And she asks him, why doesn't he come around? He says, I got a full life. You know what I'm saying? I be working all the time. Like, damn. But them older cats, man, they ain't really wasn't trying to be daddy Papa Bear like that, man. So I'm like, shit, B. That's tough. So Alonzo asked, like, yo, why Rob got shot? Why the fuck did he have a gun? What he went to go kill somebody for you and shit? And he like, Alicia like, nah. And he laughed and shit, like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying, motherfucker? And he's like, yo, I just want to let you know, you know what I'm saying, the motherfucker that killed your brother, I'm taking Trigg's case. And Alicia's like, what? Nigga, like, that's a conflict of interest. Like, not for me, it ain't. Shit. But I know Trigg didn't do that shit. She's like, we know Duda did it. He's like, well, you know, we gotta figure that shit out. But I know Trigg, Duda ain't on trial. Trigg is, motherfucker. So we gotta get Trigg off. So, and he's fucking with her, flirting with her, still the player shit, put her by her chin close, like, yeah, baby. You know, at least she'll still want him, right? So Gemma is cooking for Tiara and her dad. She hired a private chef. Now that 10 G's got her a dope ass apartment and a private chef and shit like that, all right? Marcus asked about Jake and shit. She's like, oh, he double booked. So I'm like, what? He double booked? Here we go. We'll see Darnell and M at laser tag. And M's brother came up to him and said, hey, what's up, bro? He's like, well, the fuck is you? He's like, I'm your brother. So then I'm like, oh, hell no, Dad. And he asked, how old is you? And Dad was like, man, he around the same age. I met his mom at a bowling alley type shit. So Darnell was like, man, I want y'all to get to know each other and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? M doesn't like the news at all. M is super pissed, right? But he's giving young dog the cold shoulder like a motherfucker. But we already know it ain't the kids' fault. They ain't asked to be here, M. Your little brother ain't had nothing to do with breaking up your mama and your daddy. None of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes these people who have separate families, the family that think they the first family or the older kids, hate those other kids because they're a product of the father or the mother cheating on the father or the mother, and that's their mama father, and they don't like that shit. You know what I mean? What they don't understand is your mother father done accepted this shit a long time ago, probably a high percentage of the time. So, but it's never the kid's fault. You know what I mean? Because you know how it go. You had your daddy or your mama there all the time. They didn't. They got bits and pieces, holidays and shit, because they were the other family. Oof. It's real out here in the field, man. It ain't his fault, G. Brittany shows up at Jimmy's with some weed, right? And she like, you said you wanted it, Jimmy. What the fuck? Like, nigga, like, I got it for you. And she like, Jimmy ain't got no money to get her own weed and shit. Like, or maybe she ain't old enough to go buy it, right? From the dispensary. So it's funny. Marcus is like, who is this? And Brittany looked like she wanted to be Jimmy's woman or something, waiting for Jimmy to give an answer and shit. Jimmy said, she's my artist. And Marcus was like, oh, clearly she's your dealer too. Had the weed and shit. And Tiara came to the door real quick and invited Brittany in because she trying to see what the fuck Brittany about because Jimmy was telling her about her, right? Jimmy didn't like Tiara coming in and doing that shit though. So Marcus know what's up. When they sat down and they were talking about shit and Brittany was talking about her life a little bit and shit. And Jim was like, well, you know, you could eat and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And she grabbed her hand and Marcus looked at her. And you looked at Tiara like, hold up, you motherfuckers over here doing some shit. I know y'all doing some shit. This shit don't look right. I don't know nothing about Jimmy liking girls, but this shit don't look right. Y'all on shit. Well, Marcus, the cat's out the bag. Shit, if you ask me right then and there. And then I heard it at that when it was transitioning to the next scene, I heard another one of my samples that I used and shit in one of my beats. That shit was fire. So I have to locate that beat. That was at 1822 of the show. Pastor Ezekiel showed up to Pastor Stanley's church. Mom's like, oh, hell no. Like, nigga, what the fuck you doing here type shit. So they get into it and he got like a bitch attitude and shit, like nose turned up at a motherfucker, snarling and shit, like, yo, whatever. But he like, here's a good package, man. Whatever y'all need, man. I'm here to support y'all and this and that. They don't like Stanley. Didn't like how I broke it down. I always yawn doing this podcast. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I think it'd be the end of the week Friday shit, but so Moms wasn't feeling none of that shit. You know what I mean? But we know he wasn't there for Moms. That was the play. He there for Papa. He gave him a motherfucking new audio interface and shit, like shit for his podcast and shit. So he's a trip. But Moms and Papa had a point when they were talking in the church and shit. When Bakari tried to jump in and she like, Bakari, if I want your opinion, I will ask you. But she like, nigga, your daddy turned over in his grave, fam. That ain't what we about. And Papa talking about, I want to walk my own path. I want to see what that other side is about, that prosperity shit. So preaching prosperity. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, shit, I got to be able to find my God the way I want to serve him my way, not like y'all way, Mom and Pop. So both of them got a point. Like, that ain't the way you was raised, nigga, nigga, I want to go my own route. In them religious families, that shit happens all the time with the whole little bullshit. If you ain't gonna be Baptist, if you ain't gonna be Kojic, if you ain't gonna be Catholic, Lutheran, you ain't gonna be Protestant, you ain't gonna be apostolic and all this shit, and we disowning you type shit. Like, damn. What if that shit ain't for me though? I understand what our family did, grandmas and grandpappies and all this shit, but what if that ain't for me, B? You know what I mean? And it happens in black religious households. It happens in white religious households. That religion is a form of control, and the people are so controlled by that damn religion, they think they try to control other motherfuckers by their religion. It's the weirdest shit, but that's how it go, B. You know what I'm saying? Preaching prosperity. But Bakari was like, yo, Papa, I don't feel like your mama like me. Do I got to move out? Papa like, nah, she's straight, man. You know what I'm saying? She wants you around, fam. She's just grieving and shit like that. So that was touching scene. Because Bakari like, come on, fam, I got you, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, much love. Alicia and Shad in the bed and shit. So, okay, Shad, you got somewhere to lay your head and shit. Whatever, right? But remember, Shad, you don't know that, but we know Alicia, master manipulator, motherfucker. So she's like, come here. And put that nigga in a butter soft 3/4 trench, like leather, like, oh. And Shad was like, nah, man, I'm my own man. I don't like handouts and shit from women and all that shit. She's like, yeah, you're your own man. You're your own man in a beautiful leather jacket. Nigga, you gonna take this jacket, basically, right? Master manipulator, right? So then Alicia asked him, like, yo, you want a real job, motherfucker? Hey, B. Hey, nigga, you tired of putting motherfucking faucets and shit and motherfucking dad bolts in? B, I got a real job for you, nigga. Being like her director of security and shit. He's like, man, I can't have a gun. I'm a motherfucking felon. And she like, nigga, I'll see to it. Damn. I'll see to it? Yeah, you got pulled like that, Alicia? Damn. Yeah, you a felon, but we'll get you a gun, nigga. Like, we ain't worried about that shit. We'll get that shit removed that you can have a gun. So we know, Shad, you know you're going to have to kill a motherfucker, right? Or a few motherfuckers, because you don't know how deep Alicia is in the game. Like, this shit finna get very interesting. Very fucking interesting. I told y'all when he went over there last week that she's going to try to get him to kill Duda. She's going to try to get him to kill Duda. So we go back to Gemma's apartment and Marcus digs Britney's music. Talking the same shit that most old people do. You know what I mean? Older people do. Man, I really don't fuck with the young people music, but this all right. That mean it's real. And then Tierra's real messy, texting Gemma right there on the spot. I see why you like her and all this shit. Bullshit, Tierra. Don't do that. Don't do that. You told her, be faithful. Don't with Jake shit. But now you seeing why she liking her and having issues. So maybe Tierra keeping it one thou wow. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So Rob and Alonzo meet out at a Japanese restaurant. Man, these motherfuckers be having so much money that they be shutting down restaurants and shit, man. That shit dope. Alonzo's asking mad questions, asking Rob would he be willing to testify against Deezus. The shit is crazy. Like, Rob, like, hell no, dog. Like, you interrogating me and shit. I'm not your witness. I'm not your client and shit, man. What the fuck are you doing? And Alonzo like, nigga, he's desperate. And he trying to make up on lost time, too. He gonna pull the pictures out of his briefcase of my man when he was a little boy and shit. He ain't a little boy no more. Rob a grown-ass man with a beautiful woman and shit right now. You know what I mean? He a stepdaddy and shit. You know what I'm saying? He got him a little son and shit. You know what I'm saying? Stepson and shit, man. So here we go. This is going to be something that is going to continue to come up throughout this season, that Alonzo is going to be trying to build a rapport with Rob, but he can't get that time back he lost. So somebody's going to want that time back, and I'm trying to figure out if it's going to be Rob or is it going to be Alonzo, because that usually stalls niggas out with reconvening and coming back together again. So we'll see. Marcus and Gemma, they chop it up at the crib. Like, yo, no, you miss being at the crib? She's like, yeah, but I like my crib. I like having my independence and shit. He's like, well, I ain't really feeling this shit. I had a life plan for you. So we'll see if this shit's still going to work out, but you still going to have to take my advice type shit. And he said, let me holler at you for a minute. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, he's like, you and Brittany, y'all strictly business and shit? And I don't know, she gave it up. He knew she was lying and shit, right? He's like, just remember, Jimmy, you could tell me anything. Dad, I don't have anything to tell you, and this and that and this and that. She started getting a little attitude and shit. And he figured out, he knew what it is. And he told her, don't shit where you eat. Don't shit where you eat, man. Don't shit where you eat, man. That shit rarely works out. Never works out. Never works out. You know what I mean? Never works out. Sometimes it do, though. If you're very lucky. Very, very, very lucky, right? No doubt to Marcus, man. Don't shit where you eat. The first lady showed up at Jake's crib. Now, we all know Jake is finna get something, right? He got the blunt roll. He smoking weed and shit. Like, Jake don't give a fuck, like, right? She bossed him off in his living room. The first lady of the... It be like that, yo. I'm like, where's this going on? Because she bossed off Jake. She bossed off plenty cats in the congregation. Plenty cats in the congregation. Man. Damn. Em and Keisha is at the crib, and they made a meal for Darnell and Jada to come by. And his brother, they didn't know who was coming by, he came with them, right? Em pulled Jada to the side. He's pissed off, like, yo, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mom, why he bringing his other kids around and shit? Like, Em got to understand, nigga, it just ain't your mama, Darnell, and you, nigga. He got plenty motherfucking kids. Just like your ass got plenty motherfucking kids. And Jada had a point, like, it's about time you start bringing his other kids around. They need to be around they daddy. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I ain't got to be too thrilled about it, but this is what he wants to do and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, his methods may not be all the way right, but this is what he want to do. Now, remember, I've been asking about Darnell other kids for a while now. Where they at, yo? And then Jada flipped it on him like, yo, you talking about if I care, shit, should Keisha care about you got 3 kids by 3 different women? Drops the mic. I see you have a point there. But you know how most motherfuckers is. I can do the bullshit. I don't want the bullshit done to somebody else that I love, though, right? I don't want the bullshit done to me. Yeah, how quickly we forget, nigga. Yeah, nigga, you got 3 baby mamas, man. So you can't say shit, and Keisha around your kids, so So they go back out there and they ready to eat and shit. And M was finna start praying, and younger brother Damien took over the prayer. And you know what I'm saying? Keisha was just holding his hand like, nigga, chill. And he trying to get anywhere he fit in, and you know what I'm saying, said a little nice prayer and appreciative of everybody that was there and wanting them to be there, and it's all that shit. I'm telling you, I got to be a tough ass situation, man. Tough ass situation. You meeting your brother, you know what I mean, and you're trying to be smooth and shit. Like Damien was trying to be smooth, but M wasn't receptive to it and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's tough. That could be tough for Damien as well. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to even for M, but some people just ain't with your shit. I get it, but M didn't like it, but he respected it. He got to respect it now. You know what I mean? First lady, they getting their clothes all back organized. She asked if Jake is coming to church on Sunday. He's like, I really don't do the church shit. And he's like, well, you ain't got to come to church for that. You can come to church to see me though. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He was, you know, at first when they came in, she was talking about money, and he's like, I got money for my rent and do shit I need with my weed and all this shit. She's like, you can't spend your money on me. So she's a sack chaser. That's what I forgot to say. She's a sack chaser. But she said, you come to church to see me. I won't know when I'm going to see you again. You just came on my crib. Like, what are you talking about? But damn, she's thirsty. And of course, you can't judge other people's relationship. Her husband, Ezekiel, might notice what she do, this how she get down. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? We got an image to uphold, this what we doing, this business relationship, and you do what you do. But man, it's all far too real, baby, far too real. We know what they're doing with that black church shit, though. We know that. Darnell told him he ain't got to ask to bring his brother out. Man, you got to let me know when you bring motherfucker by. I said, I ain't got to ask him to bring your brother by, nigga, with me. That shit crazy, though. Then he asked him, man, can you look out for Damien, man? You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no job. He's a little rough right now, man. He's like, smoking nigga? Like, man, I ain't. He's like, come on, man, just think about it, though. Just think about it. There ain't really no jobs out here. Him said he'd think about it, so that was smooth. Jim is at Jake's. First lady texting, Jake laughing and shit. Jimmy like, who's texting us? Nobody. This is my motherfucking phone, Jimmy. Ain't nobody texting us. Somebody texting me, motherfucker. Like, what are you talking about, Jimmy? Jake told her. She's like, well, if we're going to be together, we can't be lying to each other over shit. And he like, okay, then, well. Jake said, this lady came by his crib today and she let me fuck. Like, oh, man. And she's like, wow, how could you do that? He's like, man, shit, you ain't the only motherfucker I'm going to fuck the rest of my life, like, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy just said a shed of thug tear and shit. And Jake said, we both want to fuck other people, man. We 18 years old. We ain't going to be together. We might not even be together. We ain't be together the rest of our life. We might be together 10 years. Like, Jake and G. He tell the truth, though. I didn't like the seriousness of their relationship. And they trying to make it like some grown shit. They 18. Hell no, man. This is what we doing right now. This is what we doing right now. Huh? So when they got to doing it and Jim and tried to be the holier and all, like, no, Jake, you're my person and all this shit. Jake said, well, what about Brittany? And Jim admitted to kissing her. And he's like, well, okay, you kissed her, but I didn't fuck her though. And he's like, have you thought about fucking her? And she said, yeah. I said, okay then, motherfucking shit. Hey, man, we just gonna do what we do. Let's keep our options open. We ain't got to break up, but let's keep our options open what we want to do. Remember, I knew it was only a matter of time, you know what I mean? Because they were way too serious for that age. So, but what this do now, if it's going to force Gemma, of course, to the bisexual or lesbian side. And then Jake is fucking with the fucking pastor's wife, man, of the church, B. Yo, real shit, ain't no kind of fit. Doing what I want to do, fuck that bitch. Talking crazy, she was just average. I use it like a motherfucking savage. Demon time on a demon grind. Hey, all right. Kenya meet Zay. We see her just walking to a car. Zay up in a car, talking about, yeah, you smoke? She's like, no. Why? I never wanted to. I just never wanted to. I never did. And she's smoking now, though. She did hit that shit like a pro. Blew that shit out like a G. I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? And she asked if he worked for Dude, and he's like, yeah, I do. And he's like, I'm tired of working for him, and I want to be my own boss. He's like, but in order to be your own boss, you got to have a cold heart and a cool head to be one, though. I got a cool head, but my heart ain't that cold. And she's like, oh, that's good to know. And she asked him, you ain't from up here, is you? You know what I mean? And she's like, yeah. I'm from the South and shit. I came here for opportunity and shit. And Zay was giving me down South vibes and shit. He just player. He just smooth, laid back cat, you know what I mean? Just player with his movements, man. Just, you know what I mean? Them niggas ain't slow. Them niggas know what's happening, you know what I mean? They try to say down South niggas be a little bit slow and don't be, no, nigga, they just move the beat to their own drum. So I was like, so they just gonna sit in the car in a parking lot and smoke weed under the light? Like, that's what we're gonna do? Because they didn't show if they were doing anything else. So hopefully they got the fuck up out of there and just didn't sit in the car smoking killer. You know what I mean? Oh shit, smoking killer. But that's gonna be interesting. What's gonna happen with that? So now we got Zay and Kenya. And I was thinking about at that age, what could they do? They can go to Dave and Buster's. They go get something to eat. You know, worst place to go with somebody is a movie. You don't want to go on a date to a fucking movie, man. You can't talk. We see Bakari picks up his journal and he starts to write in the good. He got some real ass shit. This should be a movie, his life already. You know what I'm saying? He wondering if he can trust Brittany. He know he can trust Papa. He know he can trust Shad and shit. Just wondering if he can trust Brittany, his sister, you know what I mean? She be doing shit. So we see Jim and Brittany in the studio. Brittany riding to the track and shit. Jim is like, oh shit, it's my turn. She gets up from on her side, go fix her weave. She get up and they get to dancing and popping and all this shit. Her little ass trying to get it, trying to get Brittany attention. Brittany wasn't paying her attention. She go to Brittany like, what's wrong? You know what I mean? I'm thinking she's trying to give Brittany some inspiration to write. Like, this shit bouncing, cuz, let's go. Hey. And she's trying to get her to pay attention to her. Like, you come get this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. Brittany says, shit, I want to keep this shit professional and not lose sight of the goal, what we trying to do. You know what I mean? And then Jim is a fool telling her shit. You know what I'm saying? What? She like, yeah, because if we cross that line, Brittany like, we cross that line, ain't no coming back. So Jim is like, what? Sex with you is going to change my life? And Brittany said, hell yeah, it would. Like, oh, man, listen. Whatever you think, dawg, I'm rolling with it. I just know, as a man, I can make a woman come 3 different ways. With my tongue, with my penis, with my fingers, right? So, and there's 3 different levels to that shit. So, if that's gonna change your life, more power to that shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Pastor Ezekiel says Papa needed guidance, so he came lucky. He glad he came to the church to come holler at him. I knew you needed guidance, nigga. I'm like, damn, nigga, that's a fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, his daddy was just here. You saying he need guidance because his daddy ain't around? If not, that's some foul shit to say. Excuse me. That's some foul shit to say, Pastor Ezekiel. Hold on. He asked Papa to be his assistant. So I'm like, yo, Papa is dope. Papa's pulpit, and he know the cloth he comes from. But he said, no, you're going to be full-time. You're going to have to quit your little job of smokers and shit. Stanley is turning in his motherfucking grave, nigga. How you gonna go be assistant at the church? Your daddy said we don't fuck with them because they preach that prosperity, but Papa want to go his own way, and he want to find his own way, and he about that prosperity. So shit is, man, you can't live for your parents, you gotta live for you. But damn, no. Then we see Bakari writing his story. Youngblood has been through it, but just like Pastor Ezekiel just told Papa, he just told him, new experiences equal growth, dog. So Bakari gonna be all right, man. It's just he got to try to get away from Duda. Ain't no getting out of that shit except for death, man. So that was it. That's it. Pretty good episode, man. The Shy is straightforward. You know what I mean? They don't waste scenes. You feel me? They don't have meaningless conversations and shit. Everything is tied in. This shit is so well written and well shot that you're just there for that. You know what I mean? And it's intense at times, but you're right there in the story. Ain't no diverting off the chosen path that the episode and the season is on, right? We trying to get to it, baby. So remember, I hate Showtime because they don't release no trailers to the shit. And I think it's on purpose now this year because I ain't seen no trailer except for the season trailer. I ain't seen shit. You know what I mean? But it definitely don't show them after the episodes follow them. So, we didn't have no trailer for nothing. So I got to get used to that. We got Papa fucking with the ops church now that he got to see. He didn't say he was going to do it, But we know Papa gonna do that shit. We got Jake fucking the pastor's wife. That's crazy. We got Jim and Jake just figuring it out. We got Gemma want to get at Brittany hard now. We got Zay and Kenya. We got Shad and Alicia. Man, we got a lot going on, B. We got a lot of relationships that's being formed now. You know what I mean? And with these relationships being formed, they're like almost all are opposites. Zay and Kenya total opposite. You know what I mean? Gemma and Brittany opposite. Jake and the pastor's wife is opposite. Papa with Pastor Ezekiel is opposite. Alicia and Shad is opposite. So yeah. Shit. Rob and his daddy is opposite and shit. So yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah. 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 Man. It's very interesting, I should say. So man, this whole Trig jail piece, I wonder how much of this we gonna get. I mean, the whole trial and shit. Are we gonna make it to trial? There's a lot of shit that I want to know, man. So we'll see, man. But we know Duda and or Alicia got to go this season. One of them two, right? Some major shit happening. So let me know, y'all, what y'all think, man. But we everywhere. These new relationships are intriguing to me. We got M and Damien, right? So let me know, man. Let me know, man. Let me know in the comments, yo. Keep the conversation going, man. Get your conference together. Get your clutch together. Listen to and follow Network on various platforms. You can always go to confidenceintheclutch.podbean.com, wherever you listen to your podcast. You can watch me on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, search Confidence in the Clutch, y'all. Click that bell for notification, new content when I drop. Follow, share, rate, and review is important. Follow us on X and Instagram at K&K. Visit us on Facebook on Confidence in the Clutch. Weekly, Donald Nelson, D-Nell, Dizzle, Deezy, Deezus, DZD, Deezos, Don P, Don D, Don Rilla, host the Shy Reverberation podcast, a Confidence in the Clutch podcast about the hit TV series The Shy. Have a safe and healthy night. You listen during the daytime, baby. Create a great day on purpose, man. Hey, have a safe Memorial Day weekend, man. This is when they pop off for the summer. A lot of murder, man. Please, in our community, let's do it right, man. Stop all that shooting, all that murder, man. Let's not do it, man. Enjoy your family, man. Peace. 3, 2, 1. Confidence on 3 and the clutch on 6. 1, 2, 3.
Confidence.
4, 5, 6.
In the clutch.
Confidence in the clutch.